Everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. Sorry for being a few minutes late. My laptop is dead. It's on the charger. I didn't want to push the video back 15, 20 minutes. So I said, let me just do this one on my phone and I'll do the rest of my lives from my laptop. So that's why I'm kind of at an angle. But hey, y'all. I have missed you. I do miss my YouTube channel and my YouTube friends. Hey, Eric. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. My voice is very raspy because, I was in Chicago for a week and I got sick. Like, Chicago chill is not the same as a Tennessee chill. And I had my Chicago coat, hat, gloves, everything. And that wind got to whipping and I was out. So I'm not sick, but I still have a little bit of congestion in my sinuses. So I sound a little bit raspy. Like my voice sounds weird right now. But again, Happy New Year to you all. And I missed you. And I can't wait. I always love to give a good story time. And it's crazy because I feel like every time I go out of town, every time I have an event, it's always a crazy story to come back and tell. If you follow me on Twitter, please follow me, Kiss My Cheeks TV, everywhere, Twitter and Instagram. You would have seen I had an adventure at the airport. My last nerve was worked. So let me tell you about it. Because, you know, you see people act up in the airport on like TikTok and Instagram all the time and you laugh and be like, Lord, these people crazy. But when you see it in person, for me, it was different. So start off, you all know all about Winter Storm Elliott that went across the entire United States, canceled a lot of flights. So I left for Chicago on Christmas Eve, which was Saturday. A lot of people have been sitting in the Memphis airport. They were telling me since Thursday. A lot of people have been waiting to get to Chicago since Thursday. So some people were more frustrated than me. So I shut up and I didn't complain too much. So I get to the airport 7 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock flight. I don't play with the airport. I'm there 2 hours early. I ain't got time to be running through the airport trying to catch a gate. I'm there 2 hours early as they recommend. So I'm there and I'm waiting. As soon as I sit down at my gate, I notice the time changed from 9 to like 10:30. So we already had one delay. So, I call my dad. I let him know, like, don't leave out so early. Our flight got delayed. We'll be there such and such time. It's cool. So as I'm just sitting, passing the time, my son wants to sit in the seats right behind the counter of the Southwest. We was on Southwest, of the Southwest desk. So, I like to people watch. I was reading a book, people watch, reading a book, people watch. The first thing I noticed was this tall, white male gentleman. He had to be between 20 to 25. He did not seem very old, but he seemed a little bit touched. I'm going to try to be as politically correct as I can be. He seemed to be a little bit off because he's skipping through the airport, singing rock and roll songs, hands in the air. Like, he seemed very free, very carefree, and he wasn't doing anything to aggravate anyone. He was in his own world, in his own rock and roll concert. But I have my eyes on people. One place I don't play with is the airport. I need you to sit down and be still. I don't need too much commotion, confusion. So as he's skipping through the airport, I'm just watching. I'm like, please don't let him be on my flight because I ain't got time for no foolishness in the air. Oh, but that's just it. So as we're sitting in the TSA line or sitting behind the Southwest counter, we get a second delay and our flight, they was like, look, y'all plane ain't even left Atlanta. So we don't know when you about to take off. But once that plane leaves Atlanta and get here, y'all be on y'all way to Chicago. So I'm like, well, damn, I don't even know what time to tell my dad to be at the airport in Chicago at Midway because I'm like, look, hey, Dejan, Happy New Year's. Um, I'm like, I don't even know what time to tell my dad to be at the airport because they said our plane ain't even left Atlanta yet. So I just called my dad, like, look, we on our second delay. I guess we'll be there sometime. I'll let you know. So now the line at the Southwest counter is wrapped around the airport. People are complaining. So, I'm people watching. The first set was this white couple. They mad. They was like, look, we done already missed our flight. I think they were going to Orlando. But they had to go. I don't know where they was going, but they had to go somewhere else. And it's like, look, we done already missed our connecting flight out of Chicago. Can you just give us our bags and we gonna go back home and try to find another flight? They were kind of nice, they were mouthy, but they got their bags and whatever. Then here come this lady. This lady right here. She has on a shirt that says "Seek God." So I'm like, this is a nice Christian lady. Christmas Eve, she promoting the Lord. This lady did so much cutting up at the TSA or Southwest counter, and she had a little baby with her. The first thing that I thought was strange with this lady, and she was a little bit touched as well. She was walking through the airport with a "Seek God" in humongous letters like this. My shirt says "Good vibes only," but she had "Seek God." But she cussing up a storm. Like, she was like, take a fucking picture. Hey, Glenda, take a fucking picture. Like, she wanted everybody to take a picture with her in the airport. And I was like, lady, please don't talk to me. I'm not that friendly. I'm going to cuss your ass out. I don't want to take a picture. I think I have it on my face where people know, please don't approach me. I'm not. That's probably why people at work say I'm not approachable. It probably is written all over my face. I don't know, but back to the story at hand. So she's cussing people out, demanding that they take pictures. She gets up to the I keep saying TSA, but I mean Southwest. She gets up to the counter and proceeds to cuss out the Southwest people. Talking about she was on her way to Michigan. I've been trying to get to Michigan since Thursday. This is fucking ridiculous. I need to know what time the plane is going to be here. Because she was on a connected flight, but we'll get to all of that. And I'm like, lady, please don't cut up in the airport around me, because mind you, I'm sitting by the counter and I ain't got time for her to start flinging computers and all this other shit. I'm always watching and on ready. So I'm tweeting and Instagramming like, please, lady, don't cut up around me. I ain't in the mood today at the airport. But the people at hey Evita, the people that work at the Memphis Southwest counter have so much patience and so much grace, because they handled that lady. They de-escalated her, they calmed her down and sent her on her way. Now, okay, after all that happened at the counter, eventually, I want to say around 1 o'clock, we got on our flight, and then the cut up really began. So mind you, I told you this lady had a baby with her, about a 2-year-old, in some kind of wagon, not a stroller, but a wagon. So everyone's on the flight. We're trying to leave. The stewardess is on the microphone. Such and such passenger with the wagon, can you please come up to the gate and show us how to let it down so we can check it, blah, blah, blah. The lady don't get up and move. I know it's this lady. Mind you, the two crazy people that I saw acting up in the airport were all on my flight. So I knew it was about to be a mess. She wouldn't let the wagon down. So finally, they called her like twice. By the third time, they was like, look, if the person who owns the wagon doesn't come up and show us how to let it down, it's going to be left right here in Memphis. It's up to you. And I was here for that energy because I'm ready to go. Like, look, lady don't want to let her wagon down. I guess she don't want it to go to Chicago or Michigan, wherever she was going. So finally, she gets up to go let the wagon down. She has the baby on her hip. And I recall the belt. It was a blue glitter belt, thick belt in her hand. And I'm like, damn, it ain't right. But it reminded me of like back in the day how my mom would walk around with her comb in her hand, not because we was getting a whooping, but because we knew it was on site. Like I got it in my hand, so you can cut up if you want to. It's gonna be a pop. And so I felt like she had her belt out so that baby would know, like, look, you gonna get popped on this plane. Now, mind you, I wouldn't do it. It was too many. I don't mean to bring race into it, but it was too many white people on the plane, and a lot of people don't believe in whooping your child, especially in public, especially not on the airplane. But I saw her with the belt. She let her stroller down. I done, Southwest got the free movies on their Wi-Fi. I done put my headphones on. I done turned on the Grinch. I was in the holiday spirit. And I was ready, little hour flight to Chicago. I'm ready to go. So I got my headphones on and I'm watching the movie. I ain't paying the stewardess no attention. I know how to click my seatbelt. I know how to put that thing over my mouth before anybody else's mouth. I know the rules on the airplane. So I'm not paying anybody attention. So we getting ready, our line, we getting ready to take off. We in line on the jetway. And all I hear is, shut the fuck up. Shut it up. Shut the fuck up. And I'm like, who ain't got their headphones on? You gonna watch a movie, that's cool. But at least put your headphones on. We ain't gotta listen to your movie. So the cursing was so loud and it was so aggressive. I felt like some people was getting ready to fight on the plane because they're like, shut the fuck up. You better shut the fuck up. And so I take my headphones off because I'm a little bit nosy and I turn my head. Mind you, my son likes to sit in the very last row of the airplane. I don't know why he likes to do this, but he likes to sit all the way in the back. And my son was sitting back there. So I turned my head to see what was going on. And it's this lady. The baby is hollering. She's whooping the baby in her seat. I don't know if the baby is scared. It could have been the baby's first flight. The baby don't like to be crowded on this plane. It was a full flight. I don't know what it was, but she's whooping the baby and cussing the baby out. And the whole plane was in like, ain't nobody gonna get this baby from this woman. Like, what is going on? I'm trying to ask myself, like, if I was sitting close, like maybe a row over or a row ahead, would I try to rescue the baby and, like, let me hold the baby and come, like, de-escalate? Like, I don't know. But I was sitting I was half the plane up in front of them. My son was sitting right next to it because I got the whole story when we got off the flight. And I'm like, nobody tried to help the baby. I don't know. I feel like I probably would have minded my own business. I don't know. Because I grew up, I believed in whoopings, but I would never beat and cuss out my 2-year-old on a full flight. Never, ever, ever. I would never, it would, baby, a 2-year-old ain't done nothing that wrong. So I was on edge then. I'm like, this lady is kind of crazy. I feel bad for the baby, but I think even the stewardess, the pilots, everybody was like, let's just go. We're trying to get to Chicago. We been sitting here, all day. Let's just go. I don't know. But we took off. Nobody did anything. So we in the air. And once we get in the air, I don't play at all. Because I told you I'm already a little bit nervous on the flights. I didn't take any Xanax because I feel like an hour flight I can do without my pills. Like, I can get and go to Chicago. That's an hour, 15-minute flight. So I didn't have no Xanax. So if you on the flight cutting up, I'm liable to get out my seat and check you because I don't play up in the air. In the air, I don't play. She was whooping her baby. We were still on the ground. I felt like they should have turned around, put her off the plane at the gate. But hey, they rocked with it. So we in the air, and for the most part, everyone is calm until it's time to put your seatbelt on because we're getting ready to land. It's time to, I don't know the airplane word. I know it ain't de-escalate. I don't know the airplane word, but the plane is gradually, getting closer to the ground. The lady is up, went to the bathroom. She's cussing out the flight attendant, talking about it's sex trafficking in this world, and somebody can sex traffic my baby, and I got to get to my seat and find my phone and make sure ain't nobody sex trafficking my baby. And I'm like, uh-oh, that's a little bit extreme. She getting ready to get to cutting up. And it's the pilot already said Chicago when we landed was maybe -2 degrees and extremely windy. So he already said, put your seatbelt on. It's going to be a rough landing. That's all I had to hear. And, I'll descend. Thank you, Evita. The plane was descending. I'm already nervous. I don't like an inch of turbulence. Once the turbulence start, I get to praying and hollering out on the plane. I don't care if you look at me crazy. I'm very nervous. So I'm already preparing my brain for this rough landing. And this lady in the back is talking about somebody sex trafficking her son and she got to find her phone. So the people around her are trying to help her find her phone. I don't know if, because she went to the bathroom and I guess she thought she left it in the bathroom. I don't know. I went back there. It was a mess. And so the fight with the flight attendant is getting louder and louder. And he's trying to tell her, ma'am, sit down. We about to land. And the man is an alpha. He has on his 1906 like little necklace with his ID. And she's like, I don't give a fuck about your 1906. Fuck you and 1906. And I'm like, uh-oh. She talking about his frat, please. And so then and mind you, the flight attendant in the back was black. The little white lady flight attendant came in the back and was trying to de-escalate because the black man and the black lady was getting ready to get to arguing. I'm flustered. I'm nervous because the plane is already starting to shake a little bit because we descended. And I'm just like, I'm in a panic because there's too much confusion going on. So now, mind you, the white boy who was skipping through the airport, because I done turned my head, he's sitting right next to my son. And so I don't know if maybe all of that confusion agitated him, but he was like, this is the worst flight I've ever been on. I can't take it. And he started to rock it. And he was like, I can't take it. I ain't never seen nobody like this. And I'm like, oh, Lord, my son back there. I'm nervous up here, but if it's set off back there next to my son, I'm going to have to get up. But I'm nervous because we going through the turbulence. I was a wreck. I don't really recall because all of this happened very fast. But some kind of way, somebody found the lady's phone in her damn bag that was in her seat. Mind you, why did you get up and leave your baby, a 2-year-old, in the seat and go to the bathroom with a stranger? Because she wasn't flying with nobody, just her and her baby. So anyway, they landed the plane. When they said prepare for he must have been autistic. He might have been, but he wasn't playing with that lady back there. He was like, my son was like, he was ready to whoop that lady ass. And I'm happy he didn't, because they would have put him in jail. But that plane rocked, shook so bad landing in Chicago and all that turbulence and all that wind. Like everybody got up and started clapping when we were safely stopped on the ground. Thank you, Jesus. It's almost like, I don't like rough flights, but we made it. We're in Chicago. So I'm thinking, okay, everything is cool. Like, it shouldn't be no beef. Let's go ahead and get off the plane. Now, when we get in Chicago, it's so many delays and canceled flights because of the weather in Chicago. They didn't have a gate for us to go to. So we kind of sat on the runway, tarmac, whatever it's called, for about 30 minutes. And mind you, it's 2 people on the plane that I've already told you that's a little bit, I don't know what it is, diagnosis, but they have a little bit going on. So they're really agitated. The boy was skipping through the airport, He's angry. Like, he's hollering, this is the worst flight he's ever been on. What's going on? The lady with the baby is back to arguing with the man about his 1906, cussing him out. And I'm like, and I saw the white lady flight attendant told the lady, ma'am, please take your seat. She didn't take her seat. She said, okay. And she walked up front to the captain. I said, oh, the police gonna be there when we get to the gate. I said, you about to go to jail. So, of course, as soon as we got to our gate, the white boy that was sitting right to my next to my son got up and ran up the aisle, like pushing people over. He was like, I can't take it. I can't be next to that lady. I'm gonna whoop her ass. Get me off of this plane. So I'm like, you know how when people first get up, you can't be running up all the way to the front of the plane from the last aisle. That's what that white boy did. And I was like, well, at least he ain't back there with my son. I ain't got to worry about nothing setting it off because he up here where I could see him. So everybody gets off the plane. Of course, when we get off the plane, there was the police right there, about 6 police officers. I said, they about to get this lady. And so, people had at their phones. I didn't see her on TikTok, so I don't know if maybe her cut up wasn't as good as some other ones. I didn't see her run across TikTok. But the people on the plane with me was like, oh, we nosy. We want to stay and see what the police say. And I said, I said, I've been in the airport all day. I don't give a damn what the police got to say. I'm ready to go get my bags, go find my dad. I'm ready to go home. So we get down to baggage claim. We must have waited 2 hours, another 2 hours for our bags to get to circling around baggage claim. So the nosy people from the flight, they came up to me and told me what went down with the police. So apparently, and I know this a lot, the police gonna say, because the lady wasn't getting off in Chicago, she was staying on the plane to go the final stop in Michigan. So they gonna tell her, the lady, she committed federal crimes because I guess what she did was up in the sky. So that's federal crimes, and they just the state or the city of Chicago, so they weren't going to arrest her. I said, that lady done whooped her baby on the flight. I know that's a state crime. She done cussed out all of the flight attendants, cussed out a passenger, caused all kind of confusion in the air, messing with my anxiety. And that's all federal. I said, the Chicago police, it was Christmas Eve. They didn't feel like handling all that paperwork for that lady. And they probably didn't feel like finding somewhere for that baby to go on Christmas Eve. They probably wouldn't have found anybody to take that baby in on Christmas Eve. So they probably was like, just go ahead and let her go to Michigan and let her family deal with her. We ain't got time. I feel like that's what Chicago police did. I feel bad for the flight attendants. They really tried to get that lady kicked off the plane, and she should have, but they said the police just let her get right back on the plane off to Michigan. Michigan problem, I guess. That was a mess, y'all. That was a mess. 2 hours to get. We left my house in Memphis at 6:00 a.m. to get to the airport by 7. I didn't get to my mom's house until 6 p.m. the same day. So that's a 12-hour trip. I was like, we could have drove. It only takes 6 to 7 hours to get to my mom's house from Memphis. I was like, we could have drove and we could have been there. It was too stressful. But the return flight back to Memphis was smooth sailings. No one cut up. It was a man that tried to cut up a little bit, but his wife checked him because he was like, I paid $1,400 for this ticket. And I'm looking at him like, you ain't paid $1,400 nothing on Southwest. No, sir. Not from Chicago to Memphis. You ain't paid $1,400 anything. But his wife calmed him down and smooth flight back home. I'm happy to be back home. I love all the time I get with my family, but I'm very happy to be back in my own house. So that was my airport drama. It was really crazy. I'm happy I ain't have to get up and do nothing. But I would have I don't play on airplanes. I really don't. That's the one place you could probably see me react to foolishness quicker than anywhere else where I could be calm. I don't play on the airplane at all. So that was it. You all know today I'm catching up on all my videos. I think I forgot what order I even put them in. My computer is finally charged, so I'm getting ready to get on my computer and finish the rest of my lives. But I think I'm doing the circle next at 3:30, and then at 4 o'clock, Real Housewives of Potomac, and then at 5 o'clock, the challenge. And then I still got some more videos to catch up tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm going to catch up on The Best Man. I know the new Game of Thrones started yesterday. I got to watch that, and Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I'm going to catch up. Like I said, I missed you all, but I was home with my niece, my nephew, my sister, my mom, my dad. I just enjoyed my family, and I didn't want to be doing videos. So I'm catching them all now. And once I catch up, we going to be back on regular schedule. So thank y'all for sticking around for this story. I would love to take a trip and not have a crazy story to tell, but it wouldn't be an Angie trip if nothing crazy didn't happen. But yes, I'm gonna be doing Evita. I'm gonna do the Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion. It seems strange because I ain't watched but maybe 5 episodes of the whole season. But the reunion looks good. I heard everybody cutting up. Tisha's supposed to have some puppets out. I want to see it. I want to see what kind of tea is going to be spilled. So yes, I'm going to review the reunion. I feel like the reunion will be way more entertaining. And I heard the Whitlows are not there. I don't like the Whitlows. But anyway, enough about that. But I'm going to catch up on all that tomorrow. I can only talk so much a day. So I'm going to do the circle, the challenge, and Potomac tonight. Everything else tomorrow. And then everything else will be on its regularly scheduled time. All right, y'all. Have a good night. If you're not interested in any of the other videos, if you are, I will see you over on my laptop in about 5 minutes. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.